We are on.
We're on the air.
We are on the air. What are we going to talk about?
Golden Globes were last month. And interesting points, if you've been following our podcast here lately, then there are a few things we'd like to point out that we told you should be watching that were big winners. Best performance by an actress in a television series drama, Claire Danes won.
Claire Danes plays the crazy bitch in Homeland.
And Modern Family, we touched on that one best television series comedy.
Oh, of course.
That's a big surprise. Now, it's kind of sad that The Office or Parks and Rec weren't even nominated this year. Or Community.
Amy Poehler was nominated for Best Performance by an Actress.
That is true. That is true. And she lost out to
Laura Dern on Enlightened. Have you ever seen that show?
I've never even heard of it.
Me neither, dude.
It probably comes on ABC, and I'm like, bleh.
They have Zooey Deschanel for New Girl on there, nominated.
Best performance by an actor in a supporting role in a series, miniseries, or motion picture made for television. Peter Dinklage won for Game of Thrones.
Yes, the little man. The little man with a big screen presence.
He should just buy a huge shelf, because I believe he's got a lot more awards coming his way.
Definitely.
And best television series drama, Homeland beat out American Horror Story, Boardwalk Empire, Boss, and Game of Thrones.
We should talk about that.
Talk about what?
How Homeland beat out Game of Thrones.
Probably just the mass appeal, like we were talking about before.
I think Game of Thrones is way better. I love Homeland, and I'm actually getting ready to finish watching my second watch through of the first season.
Now, have you noticed anything with it that you didn't notice before?
Yes, actually. Yes.
Any kind of foreshadowing? Or?
Yeah, there's a lot of foreshadowing that I missed that I didn't pick up the first time that I just could be just because I didn't pay any attention. But Saul is the mole. Spoiler alert.
You're certain about this?
Pretty much.
Wow. See, now I thought it would. Maybe they were just kind of throwing a red herring out there with her friend at the office, the young guy.
Yeah,
kind of when they did a pan to him.
They threw that in there, but the more...
Of course, that could be something, hell, we don't find out until the last season. I mean, we might get attached to that character and find out all along. There's no way to know what they've got planned in a show where you've got 12 to 13 episodes. I don't know, they can span that out forever. Look at The Sopranos and how long that went on and on, only to give you nothing at the end.
But Homeland, like we were talking about, Homeland beat out Game of Thrones.
Boardwalk Empire, which is really good.
I haven't seen that.
We could basically watch that at the same time if you started it, because I'm only on episode 4.
Boardwalk Empire, what's it about?
Atlantic City in the, I guess the 30s, during Prohibition. And Steve Buscemi, he's in it. And one guy, I can't remember his name.
I love
he's going to be
Buscemi.
General Zod in the Man of Steel movie. Anyway, it's really good. Atlantic City during Prohibition. They're really, the costumes. The
It's an HBO series.
Yeah. And it's only had the one season.
So that means nudity, right?
Yep, lots of that.
I am a fan of the tits.
Okay, here's something, and I'm just gonna. I'm a big Friends fan. Best performance by an actor in television series comedy, Matt LeBlanc won for something called Episodes.
Episodes, yeah.
I've never even heard of that.
I haven't either.
He's winning a Golden Globe for it.
He actually won it?
Yeah.
Matt LeBlanc won a fucking Golden Globe.
Yeah, and not for Joey, which...
Joey?
Not the show Joey, but as the character Joey. I mean,
the one season
what could be topped? I did want to point out one more thing on Golden Globes. I don't know if you've seen it. Kate Winslet won for Mildred Pierce for Best Performance by an Actress in a Miniseries or Motion Picture made for television. And Mildred Pierce was phenomenal. I would say look that up. I would say around the same era as Boardwalk Empire, maybe a little later, maybe it's in the 40s. I watched it towards the beginning of the year. It's a miniseries, I think 3 or 4 episodes.
Mildred Pierce?
Yeah, and it's really, really good. Kate Winslet, awesome as usual.
Sounds like a grandma.
So anyway, that's the Golden Globes rundown.
How about Kelsey Grammer winning an award?
I've recorded that show on DVR, but I haven't watched it yet.
Boss?
It was on Showtime. Yeah.
He beat Bryan Cranston? Really?
Yeah.
And Damian Lewis. I didn't even know Damian Lewis was nominated. If you don't know who Damian Lewis is, remember that show Life that got canceled now? He plays Nicholas Brody on Homeland.
That's right. So Justified's back on. Great episode.
Oh, yes.
If you watched it, tablecloth scene, you know what we're talking about. We're not going to give anything away, but gosh.
You can say what you want about Desmond Harrington and his role as Quinn on Dexter, but I actually liked him back in the days of Ghost Ship and Wrong Turn.
Yes. He's a familiar face. See, even when he was on he's one of those people, like, I don't know, that are kind of in the background of shows and movies, and you recognize their face and you're already comfortable with that character because you've seen him in so many things. He is like that a lot for me.
For some reason, though, in Dexter, his face is so punchable, right? It's like, just shut the fuck up already.
Yeah. I'm hoping that character can go somewhere else.
But
I don't want to get stuck on Dexter, though.
He had this deep voice in Justified.
Yeah.
Like
I'm hoping he sticks around. I'm hoping that's not the end of him.
Yeah, you think he's dead?
I don't know.
Looked like he got shot in the shoulder.
But Justified, please, if you're going to watch the show, do not start with this season. Go back to the beginning.
Always.
Watch it, because you will miss out on some great storylines, some great characters, just a really great show, and you want to watch it from the beginning. Don't pick it up in the middle.
Yes. I'm a big fan of Timothy Olyphant anyway.
And especially if you haven't watched the first 2 seasons, you're going to be confused over what the hell's going on in just the first episode of season 3, because so many things are from backstory.
If you don't know anything about Justified, it's about a U.S. Marshal who started out in Miami, Florida. He shot somebody. It was questionable whether that was justified or not, killing this guy in public. And then Raylan Gibbons is the main character, played by Oliphant. His boss sends him to Eastern Kentucky, Lexington, I believe, the Lexington office of the U.S. Marshal. And yeah, so crazy shit happens in Eastern Kentucky with all the meth and junk. And all the crazy ladies. Damn, Ava, don't fuck with her.
Exactly, yeah.
Unless you're like a fucking iron skillet upside your fucking head.
It was nice. Don't worry, you won't see it coming.
No, neither did Kevin Rankin, the dude that plays Devil, is that what she calls him in the show?
Yeah, I think so.
He played the gay EMT on Trauma years ago.
I do want to touch on something real quick. Just get this out there in the open. I do have a guilty pleasure, but I don't know how long I'm going to stick with it because it's ABC and you never know where this stuff's going.
Up All Night? Was that right?
No.
Oh,
Up All Night's on NBC. Guilty pleasure
really?
is mean I'm kind of embarrassed about watching it, but I do need to skim over it. Revenge. I watched it from episode 1.
I don't even know what it is.
I'm starting to notice a pattern in the show.
The chick from Seventh Heaven?
No, from Everwood.
Yeah, Everwood.
Anyway, it's a show that she's going out and getting revenge on all these people who pretty much destroyed her father and sent him to prison.
Ooh, and, Amber Valletta. I'm a big fan of her.
It started out good as something different. Now I'm starting to see a pattern and a formula in it where, like, every episode she's going to get revenge on a different person. It's kind of like CSI Revenge, and I'm getting bored of it. I'm hoping if it's going to be a screw over of the week show, I'm probably not going to stick with it too long, especially when there's other things to watch.
Okay, well, you said your guilty pleasure, so I'm going to say mine. One Tree Hill is back on, you guys. One Tree Hill is back on. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you're making fun of me for liking that show. I started watching that show 8 or 9 years ago. This is my last CW show. Jumped the shark back when... Dude, from the first episode, I was hooked on that show. Of course, I was still a kid with no taste at all. I jumped the shark whenever Lucas and Peyton left the show. I think that was 3 years ago. Like, the next season, there's like so many new people, and then you just had to get used to so many new people. That shouldn't have happened. They should have just ended it right there.
Well, you watched...
they're in the last season right now.
You watched a lot of Smallville, didn't you? You watched it from the beginning.
Yes, watched Smallville from the very beginning.
And the verdict on that overall?
The whole Superman story, by itself. I'm a big fan of Superman and all that, but... Smallville, in a nutshell, you could have watched the first episode, you could have watched the last episode, and you'd have been fine.
Nice. All right, well, we want to wrap this one up. We're going to just talk about really quick. We're going to wrap it up with some people we think might have been robbed at the Golden Globes.
Bitches got robbed.
For Best Performance by an Actress, Claire Danes was great in Homeland. But if you've seen The Killing, Morelli Enos, I can't even say her name right, but I can't say enough about The Killing. I really think people should watch it. You're going to be pissed at the end of it, but there is a season 2 greenlit, so don't worry.
Is there? I did not hear that.
So, go ahead, Josh. What's your...
That's an AMC show, too, huh?
Uh-huh. So, you know it has potential.
How about AMC coming out, breaking out with the best shows in the last couple years?
Yeah.
American Movie Channel, coming out with just the greatest shows.
Yeah, Mad Men, Breaking Bad, The Killing, The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead,
we can do a whole show about that.
Yeah. Brains.
Walking Dead comes back on in February, so expect a Walking Dead podcast.
Brains.
And your Golden Globe robbery.
My Golden Globe robbery. Drum roll, please. Laura Dern Enlightened won for Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series, Comedy or Musical. Should have been Amy Poehler for Parks and Recreation. Does a great job as Leslie Knope in Parks and Rec. Love that show. It's my second favorite show.
See you next time.
Fuckers.